landmark. We'll try to get to this landmark and then the other camp. I think having the other camps will be helpful because I'm guessing then we can fast travel to any of those. Although I should be... Oh, they can... Did everyone level up? Or just these guys? No, they have a point to spend. Varric has a point to spend. You accept blows meant for allies taking a portion of the damage. Now, she's already dying enough. Probably don't want that. I mean, she should be able to taunt, but... I don't know. Maybe it's just because it's early game. And there's no heals, so Solace... I don't know why you're here. Oh, you can only have one of the upgrades. That's interesting. But once you put a point in it, you can choose which one you want. Huh. I guess we're just going to go down to like the barrier bonus. Straight ahead. Loot? Oh. That's something that could be loot, but it's not.
That tower is impressive, even as a ruin. I wonder what dreams it might hold.
When compass pulses, press V to search. Okay. Telling you there's a lot of loot around, is it? There you go. Let's move an inch to the right. Good job. claim? Saga of Turda Bridax of our mother. Stuff. Okay. So we claimed that. Thelmgold handed the Dreamer. Secure crossroad. Templars killed. Apparently I've already killed one. Discovered Lake Luthus.
We could make camp here?
Nothing to report, sir.
Okay. Inquisition camps. Establishing Inquisition camps allow party to rest. Refill potions, regenerate health, change party members, and do all the stuff. And be fast travel. Alright. I figured that was what was going to happen. Also, I think that's going to help the the progress out a little bit. Is non-rotating minimap an option? Map to a waterfall. The map was very precise. If you follow the river, you'll get to the waterfall. No surprises there. Hey, Pop Monkey. No, you didn't miss out on any disco. How's the Inquisition going? It's terrible, man. It's like they put like 1980s control schemes on a 2000 teens graphic visuals. Hey, Bobfire. But so far the story seems interesting. Yeah, it's really bad. The combat is...
How do you write as you do, Varric? I can never find the proper words.
There's no click to move.
Right. Really?
And the combat,
I've
there is no
needed to
select
describe
everyone.
events in reports. They always come off as
Dry.
You can
boring.
eventually get into tactics, but you can only sort of issue the commands for one person at a time. You have to issue them all.
Plus stale.
you are an ass.
That was the whole point of Dragon Age. Yes. Yes, I understand. This is my frustration too. Yeah, I don't know. It very much feels like they want you to play on the easiest setting and basically just let the companions AI, let them just do stuff and win the battles for you while you run around trying to not to face mash the mountainside. Like the first boss, like before the game splat title screen, I guess during the tutorial boss, it was a decent enough design, right? Oh yeah, and every time you right click, you auto attack and your card enters combat. So let's go. Healer will throw a shield up. Is it the same dwarf from the last game? Yeah, this is Varric. Yeah, I mean the design of the tutorial boss was cool. Basically, he had a thing your main character, the one with the hand icon as his portrait, had to click on to interact with. And that basically removed his shield, right? So you could actually do damage instead of very little damage. And then you would attack him, and it would regrow again, and he would start taking very little damage. So this guy had to click on it again. Right? And when you got him down to a certain health, a couple ads spawned, so you needed to take care of those. And then go back to attacking the main boss, and then 2 more ads would spawn, and go back attacking the boss, all while interacting with this shield barrier thing. It was totally fine. It was fair design. It made sense to what was going on in the story. Made extremely hard by the fact that...
Apostates have gone mad with power.
I see just as many Templars.
Now, is auto attack actually working? Auto attack, like... There we go. No, it's working now. Auto attack is not on by default. And I still, when I target a new enemy, I still have to press a keyboard shortcut, a keybind that I set up, so that I will automatically fire my arrows.
We must continue on if we are to secure the Alliance.
Also, loot gets hidden when it gets dropped. As well as just regular loot. You have to run up and ping the area to look around for it. And it shows up briefly on the mini-map. And then highlights. Where'd the loot go? Okay, so it turns out those guys we killed didn't drop anything. The loot is just some plants that we can loot. Okay, we're headed this way. Change to you. And also, because right-click is always like a basic attack, it means there is no hold both mouse buttons to walk forward. So I'm constantly ending up like with a basic attack and entering combat with no one. Hey, just out of curiosity, Seeker, if you'd like to come grab this dude. No. I'm gonna leave tactics mode. And I think because enough people said that they should be able to jump, because jumping in RPGs is the only way to travel, they made it space, which you can swap it around, but I just can't be bothered. Controllers now, because then I wouldn't be able to jump, controllers now pause. It's... But yeah, somewhere about 3 hours ago, how long have I been streaming? 4 hours, 20 minutes. So somewhere about 4 hours and 10 minutes ago, I wanted to play Disco Elysium today, but I didn't want to do that to the guys that know that it's a Monday thing. And I just didn't want to play Bloons. You're welcome, Pop Monkey. Well, that's the thing, like, it's been Dragon Age on the weekend for ages. You know, there's like a schedule. People show up for certain games. But don't hold your breath waiting for Dragon Age next weekend. Although I don't have anything else planned. Although that frees up probably frees up 100 hours for us this month. We don't have to try and work out. Four hours in, how do I like it? I don't. I think it's terrible. This is one the critics love. That's because the critics, or the critics/journalists, only play a game for 2 hours. When am I starting Mass Effect? When it's released. I say that I have to Google it? Yes, because I don't know the date. It's the 20-something. I'm pretty sure it's the 20-something. Actually, if we can actively avoid combat, that's what we're going to do. Because I just don't want to. I'm going to remember to look at my rotated minimap more often. So I should be running with what's the face in case. I think this is, for me, this is one of probably the worst. I click on the elf fruit, and instead of running over to it to collect it, they do nothing because we're too far away. So I have to manually walk with... Oh, it's on the 14th it's released? Wow, I thought it was later than that. That's awesome. fact that there's no healer in this game is really throwing me as well. That it literally is just drink healing potions until you run out and then go get more. I feel the same way, Feezy. Like, the game looks amazing. Like, it looks like a really modern game. I mean, what is it? It's like, was it 2014? So games should look good by 2014, and it does, but it just plays terrible. Yeah, that's not good for the kidneys, just drinking healing potions until you rot, hey. Doesn't the mage have heals? No. Mage does not have heals. Mage has defensive barriers. What would I change in Dragon Age 4? Oh, just bring it back to Dragon Age 2. Put back, click to move. You know, having WASD is good, right? Because people do that. But Dragon Age 2 had both of those. You could WASD around. You could use both mouse buttons to walk forward. You can't hear it's some weird auto attack, which I've just managed to randomly enter combat because of that. Cool. Okay. I can't select my units. Like, even in tactical mode, I can't select my units, like, say, 3 units. Or 2 people. Like in Origins and Dragon Age 2. You could select, like, it's because it's moving the camera instead of highlighting. But you could select 3 units, 2 units, and then click on this and they'd both start attacking this guy. Instead, I have to pick everyone individually to say what target they're going to be, what they're going to be doing, and all the rest, and I'm loading this up because I don't want to do that combat. Why can't I claim this now? Is there some dude here? Dragon Age 2 felt, yeah, it was a good, you know, it was a good RPG. Origins is good too. I mean, the story in this seems to be shaping up okay. The first tutorial boss design was okay, it was just couldn't do stuff. Where are you going? Don't want to. I think, like, there's a difference between innovating and removing stuff that worked. Like, add new stuff to see if it works, but don't do it at the expense of old stuff that was definitely working. You heard click to move multiple character selections. Yeah, that's... click... Being able to control, like, tactics as well. I think it needs to be available better. I don't know. So something like this. Get over there and do it, you know? The tactics was really good in both Origins and 2. Not so much the strategy has disappeared. It is so hard to gameplay that it looks like it's disappeared. You feel as if... Well, so I did Nightmare for Origins and 2, right? So I think the reason... I said this a lot earlier, was that I think it feels like it's meant to be played on the easiest setting, where you mindlessly control one of the characters and the AI on auto attack does the bulk of the work. In which case then, are you actually playing? Not really. You're making the decisions in the story and stuff, and you're letting them do the combat. If that's the case, why even have combat? Just remove the combat and have pure story mode. And that was the difference. Origins and 2, the combat felt meaningful. Like, there were some bad pathfinding issues in 2 because you'd end up, you know, you had collisions with your other characters like this. Hey, stop, stand still. I'm trying to run into you. Right? And they would path badly. But that was sort of like a, you know, you had to work your way around it a bit, I guess. I need to pay attention because there were some bad enemies around here. And that's always going to happen in a game where you have companions or any form of auto combat. You know, if the companions are overtuned or the enemies are easy enough where you can just sort of stand there and watch your companions do work, then it doesn't matter how crap the gameplay is, right? They have terrible controller optimization, which is because when I started playing this, I'm like, I wonder if I could play this with a controller. Yeah, someone said earlier that that was probably you. I think it was you, that Knight Enchanters are OP. And that's the thing, like, I'm not interested in being overpowered. I want to enjoy the game. It's why most of the time I start off on the hardest settings, and if a game is too hard for me, I just turn it down a little bit. But I often find that the easy settings or the normal settings is just play with your eyes closed. It's there for people that just want story. I want combat. I want the gameplay to be good. As well as have a good story, you know, like it's a bit of everything. Where is this thing? It's right in front of me. Okay, so that was a quest that postates in the thing. I like the... okay, so it's more of a bigger thing. We need to be doing stuff. Search for the stronghold. Okay. Then we get this active rift. Is that a camp we didn't set up? No, that's the quest. It's just every time I turn around and I start trying to run with both mouse buttons and shoot an arrow into the ground. Find a key to the cabin. Is there a 4-person co-op? You can play multiplayer. I don't know if it's tuned around that. Because it's unlikely you're going to get 4 people play an entire game like this together. You probably do have some people do it. Right? But people are going to want to play on their own as well, right? Is this the mage place? Co-op in story mode seems essential. No, I don't think so. I think it would change how you play, but definitely not essential. And as quite a few people have mentioned when we started, it's that People do play co-op on RPGs, but essential is being balanced around being able to play by yourself. That way when you get home and you want to play, you're not relying on other people. Yeah, better mechanics for squad control in single player, and that's like we've all said, it existed in Dragon Age 2. Like, it was there. The tactical control in Dragon Age 2 was good. The only problem they had was there was some pathfinding issues. If in some of the fights where there was like staircases and narrow hallways, because if you had 4 people or 3 people selected and clicked over here to move them, they had trouble like getting through a little bottleneck, so that some of them would run around the wrong way and stuff. EA was involved in this game. Well, I think people like to say that, and I am accusing you of this. People like to say that because they want to hate EA, just like because everyone else hates on EA. And they probably had little to do with the actual doing of this. They just have their name on the publisher's tag. I think that's the thing right now. I look at this and I'm like, I don't want to shoot this person because they're going to run over and I have to fight them.
I believe we are nearing the apostate. Be on your guard.
I think there are... Okay, so I think then I just told my 3 damage units to attack the same person, and they're not. Because I'm not in tactics mode. But why do I have to be in tactics mode to be able to tell them who to attack? Like, I rotated through all of them and said... I can't remember which one of these I picked. But I rotated through all of them and picked the same person. Hey Fizzy, look, I do too. Like, I was so excited yesterday because going into Dragon Age yesterday, I'm like, we're probably going to beat 2 yesterday. I was so excited. I'm like, I was looking forward. I woke up today, I went on the keep, I filled out the thing so I could bring in the world from Origins and Dragon Age. And right at the beginning, I'm like, this doesn't feel right. And then it just started feeling worse and worse and worse. The tactics camera is a little bit better sometimes. Like the fact that I can change person and the camera stays there, because that was always a bad thing. Whenever you changed someone else in tactics, in Dragon Age 2, the camera automatically moved like this to them, and it's like, no, I want to see the combat from up here while I control them what to do. And so that never happened. So having that happen is actually really good now. He's got some sort of shield, so let's everyone on him. Why didn't you drink the potion? Oh, I think because I said... Oh, did they run over there? I changed her to attack, and I didn't re-click potion. Alright, well. You seeing this? It's showing my 3 guys attacking this person up here. Alright, now they're going. They must have been. Maybe the arrows were in the air. Can you set the tactics to something better for their targeting? Not real. Wow, there's more people. Like, you know, in Origins and 2, you had a priority queue for tactics. This one, your choice is yes or no. And you can't change the order of when they do stuff. They do it based on whether they're appropriate. Why don't I choose when they're appropriate? Like, when is explosive shot appropriate and long shot's not? Or they have different. Now they have behaviors you can set. Which is who they follow. Will they follow or will they defend? Turn off AI tactics. Well, then they don't do anything. So, and this is something that's really weird, is that you could turn tactics off in the previous 2, and they would. And there was also 2 types of... There was the tactics, which was the order of what they did stuff. And then there was their general behavior, which was if they were like defensive or passive or ranged. And I didn't mind doing that for some of them, or set their tactics really simply, because minimally they would at least move to the next move to line of sight, or if they're melee, run to the next opponent and start just auto attacking. If you turn their tactics off. If you turn their tactics off here, they will not do anything. They will just stand there. And that's bad. Like, that's a big, big drop. Sandra, wake up. Okay, so what I can do though, I think, is, except that guy's dead, so I might as well just pick that one. And then there is the attack my target. And then I could select Cassandra if I wanted her to attack something else up front. You can turn off abilities you want to keep reserved. Yes, you can. However, and then you also would have to reserve the amount of mana it's going to cost to use them. But there is no cast this before this, or cast, you know what I mean? Why is the... It is just, like... Jesus. It's just really, really, really awkward. which is something you often find if you really liked a game. Okay, so a really good example. I played Shadow Tactics Blades of the Shogun a couple years ago because it went on Steam sale and was amazing. Why can't I loot the loot? Right? So because of that, I was really excited for Desperados 3. Which, by the way, Mimimi is bringing out a standalone expansion or sequel potential, I guess, to Shadow Tactics, which I'm super excited for. So because of that, because I like those so much, I went back and played Desperados 1. And a lot of people were like, yeah, it would hold up by today's standards, but they were saying that based off memory. It didn't hold up. And I didn't complain so much as had a bit of a joke and a laugh, and then eventually some complaints about the difference. But the forgiveness is the game's got better over time. Right? Whereas, yeah, like you said, the prior games, Dragon Age 1 and 2, the systems, for the combat system especially, was just better. And not in a way where it's like, okay, it was a little bit better, it's a shame. It's like, this feels broken compared to it. To be honest, like, no, this just feels broken just as a standalone. Like, if I hadn't played 1 or 2, I just jumped into Inquisition for the fun of it, I'd be jumping out of Inquisition for the fun of it. Although I am somewhat excited to go into this portal. It looks cool. Despocados 3 was great. Barriers can be destroyed with enough of the opposite type of elemental damage. Fire barriers can only be damaged by a mage's cold attacks. Alright, dude. It's your time to shine. No, attack again. Oh, I've got to click it. Here, how about auto attack? You go, Glen Coco. No, don't auto attack. I was trying to. Meanwhile, this dude's like, what? 2 arms, man. Okay, that works. That's a little helpful, at least. Okay. Thought so. Oh, she's dead. You dead. Not dead. But you'll be potion spamming. Am I not attacking someone? Who are we attacking now? Everyone on that one? How many more mages we got? It's like 4 more in here. Oh, he's almost dead. They're running out of mages in there. Oh, there is this dude. Okay, she's. Okay. We've got 2. I think we've got 2 left. I don't know. Is this one dead? I want to say that one's dead. My dude's not attacking her. Now we're through his magic barrier. He's nice and sneaky at least. So he's got another magic barrier.
Back me up!
Fetch quests. Everyone loves a good fetch quest though. What's wrong with you? Oh, okay, there's 2. I was wondering what was going on. But like, why is it taking so much to get through these guys? Because there's 2 of them. Yeah, let's just leave everyone to die, Barrack. Wait. Did you play the remake of Kingdom Amalur? I got it and I never got around to playing it. Your journey adds continue or load. Isn't it the same thing? Like what was... I had a choice of continue or load. Like it's the exact... I don't know who we want to be attacking, the spellbenders or the spell swords. Okay, the spellbenders, I think. Spellbinder? Oh, she's dead. I just don't care. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I got. I got the like a collection one day. It had all the whatever editions. Because it got voted in, chat voted for. We had a whole bunch of trilogies to vote from. And I was excited because I hadn't played Dragon Age, but I had it. I said I love the first two. First two were amazing. No. No. Just no. No. Okay. You have been told to hold position. Why are you... No. No, why are you attacking someone else now? Okay. you want to complain to the guy who designed combat, and you answer a guy with the name is Daniel Kading. Does it say who did the combat in Dragon Age 2? Because I want to, you know, give him a nice little pat on the back. There were some things in 2 that were they'd changed that were not as good as Origins, but overall I think it was better. I do remember there was a little bit of, I think especially when you go from 1 to 2 in a franchise, any sort of differences you notice because you get the muscle and mental memory of the routine of combat. This is what I do before combat. This is what I do when I pull. This is what we do when we get settled, and what happens. So there's always that sort of growing pains, and sometimes it's bad, sometimes it's just different. But 2 was really good. Oh. It's funny, one of the issues with 2 was that I can't remember, Timos, it might have been you, but it got to the point where someone knew pointed out, but it felt like pretty much all you did was throw stun bombs on your own tank, who would also get stunned, but if everyone around them was stunned, it didn't matter. And that way your damage would then kick off units. But then eventually your tank gets immune to stun. And then all you did was alternate through your damage guys throwing your stun bombs each on the tank and the surrounding enemies. Quest completed. Nice.
The King's Road should be safer.
But then you got strong enough where you didn't need to stun anyone. Your tank would be able to handle it. And you would end up... There we go, get some power. You would, like, Aveline would just run in and pull. And as long as we let her build up some threat while we picked off the range guys... You don't have memory of that? Your attorney advises you not to comment, yeah. But it was working out that combat niche. And a lot of people that saw me playing, they're like, oh, you've worked it out. And I'm like, yeah. And everyone's like, feels like cheese, doesn't it? I'm like, yeah. But it didn't matter because, it was just... It was the system they'd come up with. But the strategy felt like cheese, but the gameplay felt really fluid. And one of the painful things in both Origins and Awakening was setting up the tactics you wanted for each of your characters. Especially when you get someone new who's half leveled, you've got to go through and set their spells up in the right order and what you wanted them to do and everything else. But once you did that, it was just so good to be able to know you could walk into combat and they, for the most part, would do the right thing. You just had to direct them on who to attack. Whereas this feels very... It is going to be learn the combat, learn the tactics. And I think it's just going to be struggle along until, I don't know, enough practice with bad mechanics and you're like, I'm good at it now. Oh, you know what that is? That's the Kingdom Come, what's the word I'm looking for? When something's like the way to do it, it's based on something else. You guys remember Kingdom Come Deliverance? Deliver a sword? My name's Henry. I'm hungry. And they had this great brand new idea that you would wield the sword as if you were holding it, like your mouse would be the hilt of your sword and you would move it as if you were actually holding a sword. And it sounds great in theory, unless you're smarter than everyone else. You're like, that sounds terrible, because it was. And all the Kickstarters that thought it was amazing, every time someone would say something about it on any forum, they would just get abused. until they disappeared or removed their post or whatever. And we just sit there telling the devs, no, the game's great, don't change anything for those casual idiots. They don't know you've got a great product. Until their game went live and pretty much everyone streaming and everyone watching was like, this is terrible, how did this not get noticed? And it was brought up that it's because the fanboys fanboyed in the forums. But the argument was, no, you've got to get used to it. You're just not good at it. You know, give it time, give it a few levels and whatnot, you'll get better at it. What actually happened was, after a few levels, you were just that much, your character was just that overpowered compared to the other enemies in the game who didn't level, that it didn't matter how badly you wielded the sword, you just overpowered them. You could prefer a skill? Okay, so I don't have a prefer option. Oh, there it is. There's one. Okay, preferred abilities are used more frequently and are favored over enabled abilities when both could be used. So I could prefer long shot over explosive shot, and they would at least go long shot first, then explosive shot, and then wait until either one was cooled down. So the problem with this is that it only changes the order of the first one, because the second one, like, let's say long shot's a 4-second cooldown, and explosive shot's a 1.5 second cooldown. You're going to use long shot, then explosive shot. Then you're just going to use explosive shot because it'll just become whatever's ready next. There's no actual preference in that case, right? Except for the very first pull, or if they haven't done anything for a while. And I guess that's so. The only other time would be as if you reserved too much. If you reserved the mana, right? That way, they wouldn't be capable of casting the other ability. Yeah, it doesn't work. Preferred doesn't work because there's no global cooldown for all the spells. So it's not like it's going to wait 3 seconds and then choose again. It's just going to cast the preferred one first and then just casting anything else that's available. And that's where the tactics menu for Origins and 2 were really good, because it had an order and list. It said, cast this one, and otherwise cast this. And you had other situations, like, like a really good example is, like, if you're an archer or a mage, like a healer mage or even a damage mage, one of the options was, if you're getting attacked by melee, and for, like, a rogue, you could have the option of use stealth. Or if you're a mage, it could be... and I put a crowd control, like a prison on the enemy, and then run away. You know, or one of them would be for the tank. If you could set up a tank character, and theirs was if healer is, if a certain character, you could even pick the character. If this character is being attacked by a melee, taunt them. You know, or what was in Origins, the one that, like, for the tank one, if you're getting hit by ranged weapons, change your shield stance to be more range deflective. You know. I'm just trying to go through, like, where preferred would actually be preferred. It's only on the pool. Or if both of them, or if two abilities cost the same mana and you didn't have enough mana to cast one of them, when your mana comes up, it'll pick that one first. You can prefer and disable a skill you want to keep for special moments and reserve like 10%. Yeah, but you don't need to do that then. Because if you only want to cast one spell, you just disable everything else and you make one available. That's what I'm saying. Preferred really doesn't do anything except to alternate spells. In which case, then you don't need to prefer one. You just enable them both and you'll alternate them anyway. Other than sorry, the other time it would be, like I said, if you were down to your reserve mana levels and you were waiting for mana to cast a spell, it would always cast the preferred one first. But in previous combats, when you had an ordered list of what to cast when, that would do the same as well. That's a nice little zone, though. I think I will say I really have liked the zone and level layouts. Like smart things, like these guys have built their hideout inside of a cave, or yeah, it's a cave, right? Well, not really a cave because there's no roof, but cave-like-ish, I guess. I don't know. And just the way it sort of opens up, so that way they had enemies over here. I really like this quest idea where it's got that big MMO zone type feel. You know, we can walk all the way up to Redcliffe or hit more journal stuff. We need to close another rift. What's this one? Go to the location. A Templar has left a note for an apostate brother challenging him to a fight. Go to the location. Open a vein. Look, I mean, there's heaps of quests. Find key to cavern. Oh man, it's all the way over there. And I guess that's the fast travel between the existing campsites is really cool. Although, what's the ocularium? Where are we? Are we there? We're in the mage hideout. Oh, we're underneath that one. So if anything, that's where we want to go next, I think. I think what I want to do, ultimately, is struggle through enough, whinge and moan, complain, be a general jerk, until I get the hang of it or the characters get strong enough. Because I want to see where the story goes. Like, I'm a sucker for story. And I think the game's going to drag me kicking and screaming along all the way, and I'm okay with that. Kinda. I do like the fact that I never have to buy health potions. This is very bad. Templar Knight. Templar Knight. There was someone else. Who is it? It felt like the DLC in the first DLC was leading on to like a big bad. That was the dude that escaped from the prison, and then the warden, he must have escaped as that warden. You know, because that warden was all decrepit and stuff, and then we had that fight, and he was all good and talking normally. Don't jump, attack. Look at this, I've cancel the jump, but that cancels everyone. Just attack. Fine, just... Oh man, I thought that guy was dead. Who's getting attacked there? It's Varric. Are we just going to let Varric get deaded? I guess so. Where's the other dude? Varric, that's my last potion. Please try not to die. Varric, run away. She's just really awful for a tank as well. It's Alistair 2.0, man. Okay, you need to run away without pulling anything else. Come on. No, run away. Oh, that was a bad run. That was just get hit in the face. I think one of the things that's really getting to me as well is I'm trying to click on my party members to select them, and it doesn't. Face tanking is a tradition. Run over the caltrops. Oof. Look at that barrier. Look at that barrier. That's all skill, baby. Why am I doing like no damage? Come on, Varric. No, Varric is supposed to get... No, is that Templar but not be getting an evade full heal? I don't know what that was, but I'm okay. Alright, Timnos, thanks for hanging out, dude. Have a good sleep, man. Disco Elysium tomorrow, man. Alright, everyone is absolutely messed up. So we save. And through the beauty of save and load, we don't care what happens to us. Because we don't want to fast travel. So I think we're just going to rush the... I think that's it. We want to just get there and rush it and plant our flag.
I spy with my little eye.
No.
Oh, come now, Seeker. I'm just trying to be friendly.
Try to be quiet instead.
You brought me along to talk. Perish the thought.
Looks like there's something there that's going to make things difficult. I wonder if we need to go that way. Well, we're gonna have to try because. No, don't enter combat. Who shot who? Who shot first? Load up. Wait, when did we get more enemies? Like we already beat those and I saved it after we beat those guys. Alright, let's get out of here. Like this. Oh, let's go to this one. Why can't I travel? Because I'm in combat? Alright, I can fix that. Whoa, what is that?